Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Rick? How's it going, buddy? Florida State is overhyped. I tend to agree. Now, I think they're going to be really good, though. But handing them the keys to the ACC all of a sudden, I don't get where people are getting that from. There's a big, ugly gorilla in the room named Clemson. They got to get over that hump. I hope some of you got off work today. I know officially tomorrow's the holiday, but sometimes, you know, they'll give you the Monday off if it's on a Tuesday. I always did. Whenever I ran my own thing, we always gave the guys off. Like if it was on, if 4th of July was on a Friday, we'd give them either Friday and Monday off or Thursday and Friday off. You know, that kind of thing. Work today or off tomorrow. Can we make it a law that the 4th is celebrated on Monday or Friday? The problem is math doesn't add up. You're an engineer, Rick. It's not possible that the 4th could fall on a Monday or Friday. And I know you said celebrate it on Monday or Friday, but you know how that goes. You know how that goes. What y'all cooking for tomorrow? Or I guess what I should say is what y'all grilling tomorrow? Nobody cooks on 4th of July, you grill. Hey, what do vegans do on 4th of July? What do they do? Do they grill tofu? Or one of those damn, what are those, you know, what's that shit that Bill Gates wants everyone to eat, that fake meat? God almighty. Fake meat. You couldn't pay me to eat that shit. Nature Boy's on a diet. He's starving himself. You know that's the best way to lose weight? It's been proven. You know all these new wave fad diets that people do? Low carb this, whatever. People for thousands of years have been losing weight by starving. Well, since the beginning of time, since the beginning of mankind. It never fails. If you don't eat, you lose weight. It's pretty much that simple. You know, I should write a cookbook. Or not a cookbook. No, I shouldn't write a cookbook. I should write a weight loss book. It'll be one sentence. Stop eating. Thank you. It'd be a New York Times bestseller in no time. Meanwhile, Bill Gates is running around telling people how they should eat, and he's fat and out of shape. It's like, you remember back in the day? You guys remember back? Let me turn this music off. It's starting to get on my nerves now. Jesus. You guys remember back in the day? Well, some of you might not be old enough to remember. But back in the day when Oprah Winfrey was super fat, right? And all of a sudden, she came out of nowhere and wrote this weight loss book. And she's out there promoting her weight loss book, and she's fat. Why would anybody listen to a fat person about weight loss? Now, if it's a fat person that's now skinny, that's a different story. But if you're still fat, I'm not taking your advice. What's wrong with these people? Anyway, enough of that. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, PigskinPeete. Welcome to the Midday Show. Happy Monday, and also happy 4th of July, or happy early 4th of July. It's obviously, today's the 3rd of July, not the 4th of July. So there is that. But, of course, like most people, I do have plans for the 4th. And so all of my regularly scheduled programming for the 4th of July will not be on air tomorrow. And I hope everyone else has some plans too, whether you're cooking out, going out on a boat, going to the beach, going to the lake, whatever it is that you do. Maybe you just want to sit, maybe you just want to sit in your house and close the shades and not have to deal with humanity for 24 hours. That's fine too. However it is that you celebrate the 4th of July, I hope that's what you get to do and you're not working. Slim, are you working? Slim's always working. I hope you're not working tomorrow. I think he said he was smoking a pig butt. So, anyway, I had a productive weekend. I told you guys, well, you can see in the title here, new season, new plan. I've been telling you guys that before the season starts, I'm transforming this YouTube studio / man. Well, here's the thing. It didn't start out as a YouTube studio. This is all manufactured on the fly. When I bought this house, the purpose of this room, I wasn't on YouTube when we bought this house almost 7 years ago. God, I can't believe we've been here that long. Anyway, the purpose of this room was to be a quote unquote man cave football sports viewing room, decorated with sports memorabilia and shit, a nice big recliner couch, TV, refrigerator, the whole nine, right? Well, shortly after we moved in here is when I started doing YouTube. And eventually, originally I wasn't doing it like I'm doing it now, but eventually I figured out that I needed a workspace to be able to live stream from, which is what you see here. Well, actually, not even what you see here. It started out very primitive and just added on. Listen, every single dollar that people have donated to the channel, whether it's through Super Chat or PayPal or Cash App, and then the dollars that I make in ad revenue for the upload of videos, every single dollar and more has gone into just doing this from my phone, to doing it just from a laptop, to adding a microphone, to adding this, to adding that, just one by one over the years. Every single dollar and more has gone back into the channel. So first of all, I have all of you to thank for that. No doubt. But times change and plans change. And so I've had a plan to transform this space and utilize it the way that it should be utilized for what I'm doing. Because this is not a man cave anymore. It's not a sports viewing room. This is my office. This is my studio. And so now it needs to be that. So the first step was this weekend. We spent the entire day, I don't know, 10 or 12 hours cleaning out the garage, rearranging the garage. That's all. That's going to be the new man cave / sports viewing space. And so worked hard on that this weekend, got the garage in order. Well, I say we got it in order. It's about 90% done. There's still a few things I need to do to get it where it's supposed to be, but we got about 90% of it knocked out on Saturday. So now the next step is getting this room squared away. Because some of the stuff, a lot of the stuff, most of the stuff that's in this room here is going down in the garage. We're just kind of moving shit, transforming the garage into this space and this space into a studio. So it's gonna be a fun journey, and I hope you all enjoy the finished product. I don't know, I'm gonna be working on it for the majority of this week. And I'm building myself a desk, a new bigger desk. I'm going to mount a couple of TVs on the wall up here, getting rid of all the furniture in here. We'll have to figure out some decorating stuff, but it'll allow me to do what I want to do the way I want to do it for live streaming, and also for the uploaded videos during the season. So if you're a member of the channel, shout out to all the members out there. Couldn't do it without y'all, and hopefully we'll get more and more as we get closer to the season and as the season progresses. The members will get one members only stream every week, and of course they will be the ones that vote on which game we do stream for the members only. Now I'll just go ahead and tell you that most likely every Clemson game is going on, most of them. Most Clemson games are going to be on the public side of YouTube. Okay. Maybe it might depend on who they're playing. If they're like when they're playing Charleston Southern, the chances of me streaming that are probably not very good. So I may. Well, here's the other thing too. I'll have 2 TVs now, so I don't have to just stream one game. That's part of the reason I'm doing that, obviously. Well, I wish I had 3 TVs. I don't know if I had space for it or the money for it, but we all know that one is better than 2. 2 is better than 1.
2 are better.
And if you get 3,
and then if you get 3,
well, that's just good business.
That's just good business.
But anyway, my point is, the members will, whatever game I decide to stream publicly every week, there'll be a whole bunch of other games that the members can vote on. I'll also be doing some giveaways for all of the members. I'm going to figure out the structure for that. I don't know exactly if I'm going to do a weekly giveaway, a monthly giveaway, whatever. I got to do some sort of giveaway from the PigskinPeete merchandise store. If you haven't been to the merchandise store it's only been up and running for a short time now. Well, at least the way I want it to be. There is a link in the description of the video. You see, just get your PigskinPeete gear here or some shit like that. There's a link to the store. I'll be giving away stuff to the members from there. So that's all fun too. I think that's it. Oh, so Saturday we cleaned out the garage to get ready so I could do the studio, and yesterday went out on Lake Marion with the in-laws. Well, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and their kids and our kids. That was fun. And maybe going out on a boat tomorrow again with a different group of people. I said last week, it's great to know people that own boats, friends and family. Now, it's not so great to own your own boat. Not that it's not cool, because it is, but talk about a giant money pit, a boat. So I prefer being invited out on the boat, enjoying myself on the boat, not having to captain the boat, not having to tow the boat, not having to park the boat, not having to store the boat, not having to clean the boat. Any of you boaters out there, you know exactly how it goes, because after you get off the water, you've been drinking all day in the sun. If you drink, which most boaters do. You've been drinking all day in the sun. Now you have to go home and spend the next 3 hours washing your boat. That's not fun. But no, we had a good time yesterday. It was a beautiful day. There was a ton of people out on the lake there. We had fun. And on the way back, we were a little bit late. getting back to the boat landing, and we caught a couple of fireworks shows on the lake on the way. So we got like a free fireworks show too. So that was cool. That was cool. Yeah, just rent a boat. Hey, I'm not a freeloader. I'm not calling anybody going, "Hey, will you take me out on your boat?" No, I'm not. I don't solicit boat rides. Okay, they call me and say, "Hey, do you want to come out on the boat?" And I go, "Yeah." That's not freeloading. Freeloading would be calling them and asking them if they'll take me out on their boat for free. I don't do that, and I also don't just do it for free. If they want me to chip in on gas or whatever the case is, I'll do that too. Nothing's for free in this world. All right, let's get to the chat real quick, and then we'll get to the news. I think I saw Volusia in here a minute ago. Kevron Harris is here. What's up, Kevron? A cheesehead in Oklahoma. What's up, Pete? Who wins the Big 12? Oh, that's a great question. I'm going to say Texas. I'm going to say Texas. Is there anybody not saying Texas? I mean, I know that Oklahoma is like. How many times has Oklahoma won the Big 12 in the past 10 years? 8? But I don't see anybody with a pair of eyeballs that doesn't think that Texas is probably a better team than Oklahoma in 2023. We'll see. The Big 12 is always fun. The Big 12 is always fun. Now, last year I was completely and totally wrong. I was high on Baylor last year with the transition that was happening with the new head coach, Brent Venables at Oklahoma, and just looking around at some of the other teams. I mean, I didn't think very highly of West Virginia or, well, any of the other teams. To me, it was going to come down to either Texas or Baylor. Well, Baylor shit the bed. They let your boy down. But I would say Texas. What's up? The Nature Boy is here. Rec Talk is here. Wet Blanket. Matt Dummett. I think I already said Matt Dummett. Slim Shady Canes. Ballard Sports Media. Ballard still hasn't explained to us why sports media is one word and not why it's not Ballard Sports Media. It's Ballard Sports Media. That's the way I read it anyway. Zona Tucson 93. Let the big dog eat. 5 slabs of ribs. Hey, where do you live and what time do I arrive? So what time am I coming over again? I don't remember what time you're letting me eat 5 slabs of ribs with you. Because that sounds amazing and fantastic. Mike 3883. Notre Dame fans are dieting. D. Taylor. We all need a workspace. That's right. Volusia. It's alive. He's back. I'm assuming he's back in China. Well, if he's not back in China, then there's a real problem because he's supposed to be back in China. If he's not back in China, that means they didn't let him back in, which I'm pretty sure that they did. Jeremy Garrettson. Roll Tide 99. Good morning, Pete. Are you having a good 4th of July weekend? I am. I hope you are, too. Harold Gray. How's it going, Pete? How's it going, Harold? Go Tigers. It's always a great day to be a Tiger, sir. Oh, that reminds me. One of the things I'm really looking forward to doing, getting back to the season. Well, first of all, I'm looking forward to watching football. There is that. But as far as the channel goes, every week I used to do the State of the Fan address for the Clemson fans in the football program. I'm looking forward to getting back in that. That was one of my favorite segments every week. Of course, the most viewed and most popular State of the Fan addresses occurred after a loss. Go figure that. Go figure. But I'm looking forward to getting back on the horse with that segment every week. And I'll even do one before the season starts. I'll do a State of the Fan address, off-season edition right before the season starts to give my expectations for the Tigers. And I'll probably throw some jabs in there at all the haters, too, because why wouldn't I? What's up, Texas Rocks? John Waffle. Ram Dog. I charge a boat appearance fee. No, but believe me, the people that go out on the boat with me could give two shits about this YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, the people that my brother-in-law who owns a boat and the guy who, one of our friends that invited us to go out on the boat with him tomorrow, neither one of them care at all about college football. They know nothing about it and care nothing about it, which means by proxy they don't care about this YouTube channel either. They know I do it, they just don't care about it, which is fine. They're not football people. Sharice Armstead, Millis Vanillis. Look at the what is going. Did hell freeze over? Hey Millis. Hey Millis.
I still love you. But I don't like you, bro.
VicTube is here. Jay Shipes. All right. Well, so what we'll do now that I've went off with the diarrhea of the mouth, like I normally do at the start of these shows. We'll do like we do every single midday show. We'll read some news. And then right around maybe 12 o'clock or so, I'll open up the StreamYard, and anybody who wants to come on and discuss anything, really, is welcome to do so. What do you guys think about that? Does that sound like a good idea? Sounds like a good idea to me. Let's get it started.
Breaking news from the PigskinPeete YouTube channel.
I would like to know from Volusia how he's going to celebrate 4th of July in China. Are fireworks legal to shoot off in China? Probably not where he lives. He lives in Shanghai. That's like a city of, I think he told me like 25 million people. So it's essentially like LA size. But yeah, I mean, if you run around Shanghai in a cut-off American flag T-shirt with a mullet shooting off fireworks, how long does it take before they throw you in jail? Imagine, you know what I dressed up like for the Slob Olympics, right? With the mullet and the whole deal. Imagine I wear that mullet with the headband and everything. A cut-off American flag T-shirt and run down whatever the main street in Shanghai is and just start shooting off bottle rockets. How long before they tackle me and throw me in an internment camp? What's up, Big Dog Brett? NASCAR contractor dies after being electrocuted at Chicago street race. Oh, no. A NASCAR contractor has died after being electrocuted while setting up for a Chicago street race. The Cook County Medical Examiner identified the man who died Friday as 53-year-old Dwayne Tabinski, the founder of an events company hired to install audio equipment for the race. Dang, man. I wonder if they canceled the race. The Chicago street race is the first street race in NASCAR Cup Series history and will zip past down cities downtown landmarks. Okay, so they actually drive through the streets of Chicago? That sounds cool as shit. How come I didn't know about this? I mean, look, I'm not a NASCAR fan necessarily. I've been to a bunch of NASCAR races, but it wasn't for the races. It was really more for the tailgating. Although, if you've never been to a NASCAR race, I suggest you do. Even if you hate NASCAR or don't care about it like me, everyone should see it in person one time. It's definitely a sport that can really only be appreciated in person. Or not that it can't be appreciated on TV, but it's not even close. It's not even close. You've got to hear the engines. You've got to feel the rumble of the engines. You know, I don't know how many racers there are. 40 something in a race of these 600 horsepower engines. Like, you've got to see it in person. But if you tell me I can watch them race through the streets of Chicago or any other major city on TV, sign me up. When's the next one? That's what I want to know. Sure, I might stream that just for the hell of it. Now, although it's not a good sign when the very first race you have, somebody dies, that's not, good karma and stuff. If you believe in karma. Any NASCAR people in here? I mean, it's just like a video. The video games, that's what they do. You're like racing through the city. A not-so-welcome creature washed up on a Texas beach. It may have sneaked in over on a ship. Of course, everything comes over on a ship. It was a jellyfish? That's what it looks like. A blob-like creature covered with polka dots recently washed up on a Texas beach, but don't let its soft and squishy appearance fool you. What are you trying to say? It looks cute or something? No, it doesn't. It looks disgusting. It looks like a jellyfish. I wouldn't touch that. The dotted blob, excuse me, is a not-so-welcome discovery. Padre Island National Seashore said on June 30th Facebook post, sharing an image of a seafaring critter splayed out on the sand. It's an Australian spotted jellyfish. Oh, wow, imagine that. It looks like a jellyfish, and it is. Swam a long way, didn't it? The jelly is native to the Pacific Ocean, but began appearing in the Gulf of Mexico in recent years. The spotted species grows big, up to 20 inches wide, and travels in large packs. Large packs? What are they, wolves? Is that what they call it? Like a cluster of jellyfish? They call them a pack? A pack of jellyfish. But unlike many other types of jellyfish, it can't harm people, at least not directly. So then what are you worried about? Why is it unwelcome? They have a mild venom. They're not considered hazardous to people. In fact, their venom is so weak they can't even use it on their prey. Well, then why do they have it? Since arriving in the Gulf, they've been feeding on large quantities of zooplankton, making it hard for local marine wildlife to find food. Okay, that's why they're unwelcome. Yeah. It's just like the thing we read last week about all the feral cats in Australia. For anybody who wasn't in here last week when I read that story about what they're doing in Australia, they've taken euthanizing animals to galactic levels. Or somebody over there, I say somebody developed a machine with a laser. Yeah, a laser that shoots cats, wild feral cats, shoots cats with the laser, and then, I guess it tracks them with the laser, and then it shoots poisonous goo at them. Now, I was hoping, I need to find, is that thing patented? Because what we need to do is we just need to set up those things all around Columbia. Anytime a Gamecock fan walks by, they just shoot them with that fucking goo. The Gamecock population is getting out of control, just like the feral cats in Australia. I think some of them need to be euthanized. Yeah, for armadillos too. I need that for my backyard. I need to get one of those. Give it about 2 or 3 years. They'll be selling them things on Amazon for $19.99. I'll get a couple of them. You know. That's it. I don't care about this jellyfish story anymore. There you go. A Mexican anti-cartel vigilante leader buried, and with him an armed citizens movement. Uh-oh, not armed citizens. We can't have that. Right? I think the United States might be the last frontier for armed citizens. You know what I mean? La Luna, Mexico. One of the last leaders of Mexico's anti-gang citizens movement was buried Saturday alongside two of his faithful followers, and any hope of reviving armed civilian resistance to drug cartels probably died with him. Let me guess, he was killed by the cartel. I'm sure he was. Or some kind of corrupt police officer. Quote-unquote self-defense vigilante leader Hipólito Mora had long since ceased to pose an armed threat to the cartel that dominates western Mexico's Michoacan state? I don't know how to pronounce that. As was clear from the overwhelming, deadly, multi-point ambush in which the three followers were slain on Thursday. While some angry relatives talked of reviving the 2013 to 2014 armed farmers movement that kicked out the cartel only to see it replaced by others, many doubted that heroic, tragic chapter could ever be repeated. I think it's not a question of reviving the past, said Reverend so-and-so, one of the priests who officiated the funeral or mass for Mora and his followers. The circumstances have changed. They're different. And we saw how everything ended. Listen to this. Mora himself acknowledged that the 2013 movement, in which farmers and ranchers banded together to resist constant threats and extortion from the Knights Templar cartel. Imagine the Knights Templar cartel wound up infiltrated by members and other drug gangs. The cartel is now dominating the state, alternately called the Viagras or the United Cartels. It's worse than the ones who were here before. So it sounds as if this guy was a true Mexican patriot. That's what this guy was. He was somebody who was just a civilian who wanted to fight back about his country being taken over by a bunch of murderous thugs. But clearly the military and the police aren't doing shit about it, so I guess it's up to the Mexican people to take their country back from these cartels. It sounds like he was one of them. And, of course, like most patriots do, he died in service to his own country. Rest in peace to this gentleman. Uh-oh. Hey, Volusia. I want to put your computer on mute, bro. Hong Kong police offer rewards for arrest of 8 overseas pro-democracy activists. This is, now look, this is according to, who's this written by? This is according to the Associated Press, the AP. Hong Kong police on Monday accused 8 self-exiled pro-democracy activists of violating the territory's harsh national security law and offered rewards of 1 million Hong Kong dollars, or $127,600 American, each for information leading to their arrests. The rewards of the first suspects accused of violating the Beijing imposed legislation since it took effect in June of 2020. So that's relatively new law there. It outlaws subversion, secession, and collusion with foreign forces and terrorism. The 8 activists are former pro-democracy lawmakers Nathan Law, Ted Hui, and Dennis Kwok. Lawyer Kevin Yam, unionist Mung Sutat, and activist Finn Lau. I'm actually doing pretty good with these names. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to pat myself on the back. Yeah, talk about a word salad or a word soup or a letter soup. Anna Kwok and Elmer Yuen. So there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It looks like 12 people. They are currently living in the U.S., Britain, Canada, and Australia after some were earlier accused of various other offenses. Is this political prisoners, bro? Lee said that the new charges or rewards are not intended to spread fear, but are merely, quote unquote, enforcing the law. Yeah, right. He cited articles of security law which state that the police have extraterritorial jurisdiction and said that they would pursue people overseas who endanger Hong Kong's national security. All jokes aside, we do the same thing. Edward Snowden's hiding out in Russia somewhere because they tried to say he threatened our national security, which is a bunch of bullshit. Everybody knows that. He exposed them. But you can't do that. You know what I mean? It's weird. Everybody who exposes some government corruption ends up committing suicide. Isn't it weird how that happens? Yeah. It's weird how that happens. Oh, God. Now, this hit close to home for me. Has anybody seen this? I don't know where this was. Well, it's in Mexico. Now, this hits home for 2 reasons. Number one, I have been ziplining in Mexico on our honeymoon. We went ziplining through the mountains of Mexico. And look, it was not... Yeah, we stayed at some nice resort, for our honeymoon. Yeah, there's that. But when you drive 2 or 3 hours out in the middle of nowhere in Mexico, in the country, you're not, it's not like a resort out there. Okay, it's questionable at best. Safety precautions and standards aren't what they are in the United States as far as doing this kind of thing. So it doesn't surprise me that this kind of thing happens. But so I've done this, and then also. A couple of months ago, when we went to North Carolina for the week with the kids, we took them ziplining there. And I have small children. I have a small child, one small child and one teenager. And so this, I don't know how. Let's read it. And there's a video of it. A family's trip to an amusement park in Mexico quickly turned into a near disaster last week when the young boy plunged about 40 feet from a zip line. Now, I will say 40 feet is significant. but it could have been worse. You know what I'm saying? I would say the highest point for the zip line that we did in Mexico was of several hundred feet. Several hundred. The child survived after falling into a lake and being rescued by multiple bystanders. Well, that's it. Thank God he fell into a lake and not onto a rock. You know what I mean? That was a godsend too. You fall 40 feet into water, you're most likely going to be okay. You fall 40 feet onto a side of a mountain, you're probably going to break every bone in your body, including your neck. Video of the harrowing ordeal in Monterrey, Mexico, shows the young boy sliding across the zip line accompanied by an adult. When they appear to be approaching the end of the line, they stop moving and the young boy suddenly plummets as a woman is heard screaming. I can't even imagine, as a parent, watching that happen. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. I had not had the time to first thank God for saving my brother from this spectacular accident caused by the bad team of both staff and the zip line. And so, of course, they're pissed. Natalie Moreno, their sister, said on Facebook that her younger brother is 6 years old. And the incident occurred when his harness broke. A tourist who was nearby jumped to save him, she said. But because of how deep the lake was, she said they both started to drown. And her boyfriend and another brother had to go into the lake to rescue them. So the rescuer was drowning with the kid. And then two more people had to jump in to save them. Yikes. The park does not have people trained for this type of situation. None was to get it out of water. What? None was to help get it out of water, she said. Terrible park. Yeah, you think? Yeah, you think they might get some bad reviews on Yelp after a 6-year-old plummets 40 feet into a deep lake? Yeah, I think they might. I don't know. Might get some bad reviews after that one. Just guessing. There is a video. I saw the video. I must have been on Twitter or something, but it doesn't appear that the video on this Yahoo News site wants to play. Unless this is it. That's just a picture. That's not a video. Yeah, anyway, you can use your imagination. The video is the kid falling, and that's it. Here's more about that. Why do they call him a vigilante? See, that's the problem. If you try to stand up against the drug cartels and as a citizen of Mexico, you're a vigilante. That's how they classify them. Owner of a Pittsburgh nightclub deemed a nuisance by the district attorney, arrested for illegally entering a closed bar. What? The owner of a Pittsburgh nightclub was deemed a nuisance bar, was arrested and charged for allegedly entering the club illegally after it was padlocked and shut down by the sheriff's office. So this guy had a bar. Sheriff's office just comes in there and says, no good bar. Bad bar, you're shut down. Owner of the bar says, well, here's what he says. Owner of the bar says,
yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
Goes back into said bar. And I guess the sheriff's office is not too happy about it. Derek Hemby, who lives in Export, was arrested by the sheriff's office and charged with felony criminal trespass and felony criminal solicitation for going into Club Energy Saturday afternoon in violation of the court order issued on Friday, shutting down the business. Man got trespassed from his own business. God dang. The district attorney issued an injunction because the club is operating with a liquor license and because it had become a nuisance property, creating a public safety concern. This is one of those shady clubs, I guess. You know, everybody's got those shady. Every city and every town has that one shady ass club that everybody knows is shady. You know what I mean? Sounds like one of them. Shady people, shady business. Two people were shot outside the Homewood Club in the early hours of June the 25th. On Friday, Hemby was informed of the closure. The locks were changed on the bar, so only the DA's office would have access, and signs were posted on the door. An officer driving past the club Saturday noticed the signs were gone. Oh, my man went out there and took the signs down. According to the criminal complaint, the man was seen going in and out of the bar. Well, maybe he had to go. Maybe he left some personal belongings in there. He had to go retrieve his shit. You know, he left his cocaine in there. I mean, what kind of country do you live in where you can't at least let the guy go and get his cocaine out? Come on, stop. America. That's it. That's the end of the story. That sucked. That was a shitty story. Yeah, so this is probably really the biggest, well, I say the biggest. The newest, biggest story in world news is what's going on in France right now. I'm sure everyone's heard of it. I mean, the biggest really story in the world right now is the fact that there's a major war going on by nuclear power. That's run by crazy people. Of course, I'm referring to the Ukraine-Russia war. But this is the newest shiny object. And it's not looking good over there. That's all I can really tell you. Macron is losing. Now, let's see who this is written by. There's no publication, just a person. Anne Elizabeth Moutet. It sounds like she's a French reporter. Macron is losing control of France. Thousands of arrests, torched schools, community centers, city halls, sports complexes, post offices, looting ranging from Lidl supermarkets to Apple stores. Gendarmes of special forces brought in to patrol the streets at night, in addition to Belgorod police force. Rising anger among shopkeepers clamoring for a curfew, quote unquote, or we'll take matters into our own hands. After 5 days of rioting across France, a rising sentiment that the current situation is largely the result of almost a quarter of a century of craven governments neglecting essential law and order. A viral video of a 17-year-old seemingly listened to the policeman who stopped him in the street only to be shot point blank shocked the majority of France. Not just the residents of the countries ethically diverse, such as the one he lived and died in. The 6,000-strong march reacting to the following day, calling for justice, was equally seen as a perfectly legitimate until it escalated disastrously in all too familiar fashion. Rioting, incendiary accusations of state racism, that they want to kill us. Sounds very it sounds very similar to what happened in America in 2020, doesn't it? I mean, this is very similar. When the riots broke out, I was at Tocqueville Conversations, a conference with the Ukraine-Russian conflict. The Eastern Europeans, Poles, Ukrainians, Russians, together with the Brits and the French and the Americans and the Spaniards, watched in increasing disbelief such wanton destruction perpetuated in a country at peace. The destroying the social compact which is essential for democracy. So the latest that I heard, and of course, you got to take what you hear on the news these days with a grain of salt, is that and I don't know the guy's name, and they may refer to it in this article. I'm not going to continue reading the article, but whoever the head of the highest ranking military member is over there has basically given the president an ultimatum. Says you got a day or two to get this thing under control, otherwise I'm going to take control of it. So essentially what it sounds like is it could be a military coup if things continue to spiral downward. I don't know. That would be obviously a bad situation. Well, the whole thing's a bad situation. So. Drunk Chevette driver leaves road and lands on Camaro convertible. This sounds like some shit that Jay Shipes would send me on Twitter right here. I hate how some of these articles start out, right? Car crashes can be some of the most devastating events in one's life, of the high probability of terrible damage and brutal fatality rates. Every year, tens of thousands of Americans lose their lives in car crashes, blah, 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 blah.
People are like, oh, dude, you fucking roasted or you roasted.
Yeah, we don't need a history lesson that car crashes are dangerous. We know that. What can we see? Is there a video of this? The vehicle in question appears to have been a late 80s Chevrolet Chevette, which would have been a pretty standard vehicle in Brazil. So, of course, this is in Brazil. Unfortunately, a camera caught the car just a few seconds before the infamous crash, speeding down a narrow road that was coming up on a nearly 90-degree turn. This is possibly the worst place for a drunk driver because it requires a ton of focus and attention to detail when turning. Unfortunately, turns are no trouble for this buffoon, as they completely skipped across the intersection, jumping over a raised concrete structure and landing on the soft roof of a convertible Camaro. Oh, here's the video. Well, there's no audio, but here's the video. Oh, shit. There we go. What the... Man, that guy drives like my wife. Watch this. Hold on. Back it up. 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 All right, here you go. Let's see if I can put this on full screen. Can I? No, it won't let me. Oh, shit, you just missed it again. Or I missed it, not you. Look at the right side of your screen. Right here. Bam! And how unlucky is the driver of the Camaro that he's got a soft top on top of that thing? You know, out of all the cars that Chevelle could have landed on top of, it had to land on top of a soft roof Camaro. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you talking about the guy on the bike? Yeah, the guy on the bike he's probably the most lucky. I don't know what happened to the guy in the Camaro either. If he was lucky if he didn't get injured, but the guy on the bike almost died. The guy on the bike almost died. We won't read that. I read that last week about that train, the bridge with for the train that collapsed into Yellowstone, or in Yellowstone into the river. And of course it was carrying all kinds of toxic shit. Hot asphalt is what it was carrying. All right, this will probably be the last. This will probably be the last story I read, and then I'll open up the StreamYard for anyone who wants to come on. 8 years after he was reported missing in a Houston teen, Texas man found alive and injured. What? 8 years? I gotta hear this story. More than 8 years after he was reported missing as a Houston 18-year-old, a Texas man was found alive this weekend with cuts, bruises, and blood in his hair. Rudolph Rudy, Rudiger Farias the Fourth. That's a hell of a name there. Rudolph Rudy Farias the Fourth. Was last seen on March the 6th, 2015, according to the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, or NAMUS. He was 18 years old. At the time he went missing, the group said that Farias was walking his dogs in a neighborhood in northeast Houston. On Saturday, the Texas Center for Missing said he had been located safe and was recovering in a hospital. It only took him 8 years to find the kid. His mother told local news station that someone called 911 after finding him unresponsive outside of a church. He had cuts and bruises all over his body and blood in his hair. Does he have an explanation about where the hell he's been for the past 8 years? Or is this one of those alien abduction stories? Uh-oh. You know the whole thing? Where they get abducted by an alien and they feel like they've only been gone for like an hour and they've been gone for 8 years. You know what I mean? They don't say shit in this article. The mom said they tried talking to him, but he would only say a few words and go into a fetal position. That's it. We don't know. So we have no clue where this guy's been for the past 8 years. You just find him outside of a church covered in blood. What in the hell? It's got to be aliens. Either that or it took him 8 years to swim back from Epstein's Island. All right, I'll stop. Is it too soon? I think it's too soon. All right, turn that off. I said that no. It said he was. Oh yeah, so he's too old for Epstein's Island. He was 17. You're right. Oh, happy 4th of July, everybody. What's up, gentlemen? Welcome to the Midday Show.
What's up?
Hey, look who it is.
Heyo.
Heyo.
Slim, what's up, bub?
You joke about that alien abduction shit. They've tried to abduct me 3 times.
Yeah?
No.
Yeah.
What
How
happened?
many times did they try to stick shit in your ass?
Dude, apparently that's all fake news.
I guess. I don't know. You tell me, bro. I don't know.
Well, I mean, even on its face, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, what can you learn from an ass?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Harvesting farts or something?
That's a good point.
Rectal bacterial colonies or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the one thing you can learn, the way that we go and what's one of the first things if we find a new animal, what's one of the first things we do? We try to figure out what they eat. So maybe that's
something in his ass.
Yeah. So maybe they're going into your butt so they can see what you're eating.
Good point.
And
play the drop again. Boom, 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 boom. There it is.
In Slim's case,
They're looking.
what will they find that you ate? Some pork butt?
That would be
That's
very
cow
interesting
ass,
to them.
too.
Yeah.
Very interesting to them. Yeah. Yeah.
They
Wow.
would find out quick I'm not a vegetarian.
Yeah.
I don't take nutritional advice from Bill Gates.
No. Yeah, and I'll take weight loss advice from Oprah.
Hey.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Why would I? She should be taking it from me. What do you think about that? I want to ask Volusia. I have a lot of questions for Volusia, but before I do that, Slim, why is your StreamYard name Free Uncle Lou?
Because Big Two banned Uncle Lou.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's our newest off-season beef.
Okay. I heard something.
Lou beef.
I heard something yesterday that there was a Raj and Lou beef. Is that true?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. I don't know either. That's what I was
on the
asking.
Internet yesterday.
Well,
Yeah, me
I don't
either.
know what's going on, but I side with Lou implicitly. So
Okay.
sorry, Vic, but
What,
I'm
you
Lou
discriminating against the handicap now, you fuck?
What?
I'm not.
What?
You know what? Maybe I am. Maybe I am. Sorry, Vic, but
What? What did he say? I missed it.
I said I side with Lou implicitly.
Huh?
I like you, Vic, but I like Lou a little bit more.
Well, I think that so Slim Shady's out here making erroneous accusations. In my opinion, he's saying that you banned Uncle Lou. Is that true, Vic? Did you ban Uncle Lou?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Well, since you called my accusations erroneous, I have receipts, sir.
Oh.
As the kids say.
Well, if you would like to present your evidence to the court, your Honor, Pigskin Pete is all
He
ears.
doesn't need evidence to make his claims. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What are we
I do have evidence. Uncle Lou sent me a screenshot.
Okay. Yes, and I also showed y'all my block list on the StreamYard. And he wasn't on there.
Jerry, let's go. I love it.
Vic, you sound perturbed. All right. Well, how you feeling, Vic?
What's up, Vic?
Yeah, I'm getting better. Yeah, still got a bit of a cough, but yeah.
Yeah, you've been out of the loop for this week, Volusia. So Vic he's got the Wuhan flu.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Round 4, round 6, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Somehow it's similar. Somehow it's still a Wuhan thing. Okay, but okay. Cool.
Well, that's what I'm calling it, just because it makes people mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I'm going to Wuhan this month, so.
Oh no.
Well, I don't understand why that makes people mad. People didn't get mad when they called the West Nile virus the West Nile virus.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't
They call the Spanish flu the Spanish flu.
They got
Yeah.
People got mad about it because they were told to get mad about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
That's a good point.
Well, no, I mean, let's be real. Like, of course, it's bullshit. But if it turns into people attacking people of a certain ethnicity. That's a problem, right?
Well,
No?
people got mad at Trump because he called it the China virus, and of course,
Well, the reason why, but Pete, why did they get mad about him for that?
well, because people get mad about anything he says.
No,
Yeah.
because people got mad about him for that because they
Yes.
felt like there would be a tax on Asian people in America for that, right?
Okay, well, how about the Chinese government blaming it on the military? I mean, can't that lead?
That's
to
also
attacking the US
stupid.
military?
That also stupid. Also stupid. Also stupid. And matter of fact, Slim, here's the weirdest thing about it, right? Is originally Americans blamed it on Chinese, and so there were attacks on Asian people in America. But 2 years later, hold on, hear me out now. 2 years later, once China shut their country down and shut the borders down, they viewed foreigners like myself. I'm a foreigner. I'm a white guy who lives in China, right? And so they saw us as the harbingers of the virus into China. And so whenever I walked on the subway,
Wait a second.
Yes.
Wait,
So I was
You're telling me
yes.
that in a communist dictator run
It's not
country
a
that you
communist
didn't-
country. It is a dictatorship. Yes. Communist.
Yes,
no
it is a
dictatorship.
communist
Continue.
country.
It's
It's
not
literally
nothing to
run
do
by
at
the
all.
Chinese Communist Party. Stop it.
The people. What? You're a
Communist
fucking idiot.
Party.
Continue, Brett. I'll shut him down on that later. Continue, Brett.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
Good luck.
So I don't think anybody will disagree that they're a communist country.
They're not. If you know anything what you're talking about, they're not. But go ahead.
This one guy on the internet named Volusia will.
Yeah, this one guy who lives in this country. Anyway, go ahead. Brett, I want to hear what Brett has to say. Brett, go ahead, bro. I want to hear what you have to say. Not in the. No, go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear you. Okay.
All right. Well, so Volusia.
No. I want to hear what Brett has to say.
Well, he's not saying anything.
Well, go ahead, Brett.
What is the name of the People's Republic of China?
What is the name of North Korea?
No, we're not talking about North Korea. We're talking about China.
Right. The name of North Korea is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. So
Okay.
something can be something in name only. Yes.
So you're telling me a country would call itself the Chinese Communist Party, but would be something else?
Correct.
People's Republic.
Okay, makes
North
perfect
Korea.
sense. Got it.
North Korea is literally called the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Yeah, I understand. I don't know about the whole name thing. I don't know why someone would call themselves communist. And I'm not disagreeing with you, Volusia, or agreeing with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I don't know why someone would call themselves a communist country if they weren't.
Brett, do you know what the #1 restaurant in China is? It's Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Just because they've diversified
It's the
their
most
economy does not mean
And
shit.
matter of fact, China is more capitalist than the United States is.
They are a capitalist and communist country.
They are
Communism
not.
runs-
That
communism-
is literally anathema to no.
They have
China
a
is an
capitalist economy
authoritarian
and
capital.
they're
Listen. You know what? I absolutely. You know what? Hold on, guys.
Say out of your mouth that
No, I
no,
can-
hold on.
I
If you can
can-
say out of your mouth that a country can be both capitalist and communist, then you're retarded. So the fact is that China is an
two
authoritarian
things can't
capitalist
be true
country.
at once.
China is an
I am both
China's
black and white.
socioeconomic structure has been referred to as the nationalistic state capitalism and the Eastern Bloc as bureaucratic authoritarian systems.
Yes.
The
that
article
makes a lot of
article
sense.
describes ways in which China is both capitalistic and communist, as well as the economic challenges it faces. I am not the only one that knows that China uses capitalism and is communist.
China uses whatever it needs to use, just in the same way the U.S. does, but it is not communist. It is
You know what, all of
communist
us-
in name only.
Yeah, just like-
much as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea calls
Well-
itself democratic and for the republic.
It's the same way that
Here's what
hold
we're
on,
going
hold
to
on.
do.
Wait,
We're going to take a
wait,
poll of the people
I
in
figured it
Hong
out.
Kong and see what they think.
I figured it out. No, I figured it out. He's not going to say that it's a communist country because they'll haul his ass off to an internment camp. What he's doing is
Yeah,
I'll say
strictly
whatever the fuck I want. I'm
self-preservation.
on a VPN right now. I'll say whatever the fuck I want, dude.
so
I mean, yeah.
They've got
It
you
is
voted. Stop
an
it. We know.
authoritarian country, but it is not communist.
I mean,
It
Big
is
Dog
capitalist
Brett-
as capitalist gets.
Big Dog Brett says that he thinks the Earth's round, but then he makes flat Earth videos. So it's sort of the same
So
thing.
there you go.
Hey, listen, I'm
man,
just making
man.
money, dude. If
am
you
not-
want to pay me money to believe the Earth is flat, that's fine.
Okay.
But the one problem that every flat earther struggles to overcome is the correct answer to this question. If the Earth is flat, how in the hell did they bomb Pearl Harbor?
What?
What do you mean?
So, Brett, we agree that the Earth is round.
Because on a flat Earth, for Japan to bomb Pearl Harbor, they would have to fly across the United States to get to Japan.
No. See, unfortunately, I understand the flat Earth argument because I've seen way too many videos. You don't have to. You can fly in a circle.
Yeah, you can, but they don't have any aircraft. They don't have enough aircraft to carry that kind of fuel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Brett, we agree.
Way too damn far.
Brett, did you see the video I played of you?
I saw that stuff,
Yeah.
man. That's actually funny. I thought it was hilarious.
He does sound like you.
Yeah, he does sound like me.
Yeah.
Brett, hold on. Brett, we agree the Earth is round, yes?
Do what?
We agree that the Earth is round.
On this channel, sure.
Well,
I don't want to lose any of these subscribers.
Of course, the Earth is round.
Oh, geez.
Anyway,
All right.
Volusia. So Volusia took a. How long was your trip? 10 days?
It was. I had a 15-day trip.
15 days.
I do want to point out something real quick though. If you look at Pigskin Pete's screen background wallpaper that he uses for his show, that water's flat. The horizon's
Yeah, it is flat. Look at that.
Weird.
Yeah.
So we know which side Pete's on.
Yeah, and you see this. You see the sun right there. Look, there's no way that thing. There's no way that thing is 93 million miles away. It's hovering right above us. Come on.
93 million. What a sham, dude.
So Volusia took a 15-day trip. He did stop in Charleston / Somerville. We went out to dinner, or I had dinner. We went out for some drinks.
Wait a second. Whoa.
Yep.
You actually met with Volusia?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so you stood me up, but okay. It's okay.
We saw, no.
Now see,
I did.
Stand up,
man.
big dog Brett, but you're gonna collude with fucking Chinese spies. God
Brett,
damn it.
Brett, listen,
Yeah.
Brett. I came from Shanghai to Somerville, and I'm back in Shanghai. Come on, a little bit of respect, no? Come on.
Yeah.
Man, that's not that hard to do. I mean, it's just a flat plane ride.
I mean, but your boy flew thousands and thousands of miles to see Pigskin Pete. Of course, I had to go see him.
I did. I made it a point to see him.
Yeah, he did.
yeah, it looks like two people. Someone calling themselves ZDR, and someone calling themselves Reznov.
Yeah, I see them. I'm ignoring them on purpose, Vic, because they're trolls.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
They be trolling.
Yeah.
They be trolling.
But anyway, so because I had plans with my father the next day, I couldn't go and take you downtown and show you down there. But you did go.
We did.
So what'd you do?
I had a great time based on your advice. So we walked around downtown. We did, just more of a walk. And we did see the fountain. We did the whole thing. We went to a couple art museums. We had some great food. We had a dinner at the restaurant right on the wharf. I forget the name of it, but we had some proper Southern food. It was great, man. It was great.
Yeah, if you went right on the wharf, that's fisherman's quarters or something like that.
Yeah.
It's the only, and this is surprising too. If it was right on the harbor on the water.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only restaurant on the water in Charleston, which is very surprising since the entire city is surrounded by water. But that's the only one.
To be fair, you can go. That's not entirely true. You can go to American Dream, and they're actually right in the water too.
I'm talking about on the peninsula. There's even like a California Dreaming on the water in Charleston technically, but it's not on the peninsula.
No, it's on the water, but you're right. It's not on the peninsula.
Right.
So Pete, it was Fisherman's Wharf. That was the restaurant we went to.
Yes.
It was really good. Yeah. We had like a 45-minute wait, and I took a number, and we ended up getting a table. It was fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, it's a popular spot.
Yeah, it was really good.
So you ate some.
We paid too much money, but you know what? It was what it was. Like our whole trip, we paid too much money. So
Well. Yeah, but more importantly, I mean, clearly you've been to America before you're from here. What did your wife and your in-laws think about the States?
So my wife, it was her third trip to the States, but my in-laws, it was their first time, and it was just a really rewarding experience. Because me being the American in China for all these years, I've been on their turf since I've known them, and bringing them out of their comfort zone and bringing them to my house, you know what I mean, was something that I really appreciated, and I was kind of the boss, And I brought them around from New England down to the Mid-Atlantic, down to the South, down to Florida on the beach. Yeah, and it was just something that I really enjoyed, and they appreciated it. I feel like I hit the jackpot in terms of Chinese in-laws who are open to multicultural experiences, and they appreciated getting to know my family. And it was just a really, really amazing, fun experience, and it was awesome.
So they now realize that unlike what they probably see on the news, the Americans aren't a bunch of people that just run around in the streets shooting each other constantly, right?
Yeah, but my in-laws aren't that stupid.
Yeah, all right, good.
He didn't take him to Chicago either, though.
Well,
I took him to Baltimore. I took him to
yeah, he did take him to Baltimore.
New York. Yeah, we went right downtown Baltimore, man.
Yeah,
my grandfather,
Philly's
my fucking Trumpist, Slim, my fucking Trumpist Republican grandfather was speaking in my wife's ear about how, oh my God, when you go down to Maryland, you have to fucking roll up your windows and lock the doors and never get off 95. I'm like, fuck that. We're going down to the Inner Harbor. And did she get shot? No. He was like, oh, my granddaughter lives in Manhattan. They're open carrying and shooting people in the street in Manhattan. We went to Manhattan. We were there for 8 hours. Did she get shot? No.
Well, there's definitely nobody open carrying in Manhattan. It's illegal.
Yeah, but don't tell Steve that. Don't tell Steve that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to play favorites here or anything like that. I don't know your grandfather, but
I love him. No, I love my grandfather.
Baltimore is ranked as one of the most dangerous cities in the world.
Correct.
Right.
Yes. So
and right now, Philadelphia is in the middle of a crime wave. They have the highest murder rate in that city's history.
Well, but see, but Volusia went to Baltimore.
He didn't get murdered.
Like, you can't just say a whole city. Like, he took them to an area during the day where it's not dangerous.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't get taken out.
Yeah.
I offered to build you a shotgun. I don't remember getting murdered. There,
I don't remember getting murdered. I must have missed that part.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to be murdered to be in a dangerous place.
Okay, but I don't know. Okay,
you don't have to get murdered.
Awesome.
You could get robbed.
Well, Brett, this is also a guy that says that China is one of the safest places in the world.
Right, and it is. And if you dude, listen.
Yes, once you kill 50 million people stop bucking the system. You're right.
It's the police state.
It's just like if we want to have an adult conversation, we have to do it on a plane of reality, man.
Okay, well that is an undisputable fact that the CCP has killed 50 million people since they took power.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 1958. So do you want to talk about now, or do you want to talk about 1958?
That's why there's not a whole lot of crime now, because they've killed everybody that would stand up.
Hitler killed a lot of people in the 1940s, but Germany's great now. Right? What are we talking about?
Hitler only killed like 8 million people. He's an amateur.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sick. Awesome. Yeah, great. Good argument. Sick. Awesome.
I mean, China's up there with fucking Stalin and shit.
He didn't kill as many people as Mao or Stalin, but yeah.
That's a great point.
I mean, those two are the top of the heap.
Totally works. That your point is amazing and totally works for modern day society. It's awesome. Good job.
I get it. You don't want to lower your social credit score.
No, you just don't know what you do. You don't live in the modern world. You don't live in reality, man. You
absolutely live in reality.
You hate the idea that America is not number one at everything, and that China could be better.
America is the greatest country in the history of the world. That is
okay. I'm not saying you're wrong.
That's my only point.
But we can have an adult conversation about it, or you can sit here and try to tell me that, like last time.
What have I said that's factually
wrong? No. America's train system is better than China's, and I'm just like, you're a fucking retard.
What have I said that is factually wrong?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. So you said that America's train system is better than China's.
No,
I didn't.
You did.
Those words have never come out of my mouth.
You did, and Traveling Fools laughed at you when you said it. You did say that.
Okay, well,
Well, no, I think that he just said that he's.
You're trying to say joke is a serious statement now? Is that the game we're going to play?
No, I want to have a real conversation with you, but I can't hear you.
I think that what Slim meant
Obviously not, because you're taking a joke as a
No,
serious
now I can
statement.
hear you. Now I can hear you.
was that he's not envious of China's train system.
Sure. No, we can talk about that. That's no issue. Okay, moving on.
He's not envious of how far behind we are in
Great, that's cool. Got it. Because they evolved of different systems. That's fine. Yeah. What he's trying to say is, what was about 1958? Like China's Mao Zedong killed people in the 50s, and so suddenly what?
Okay, well, they're still killing people today. Let's take a poll of the Muslim population.
So is
in
America.
China.
So is
See how great it
America.
is.
And I don't stand by everything China does. I'm an American. I don't stand by everything America does. What's your point, dude?
You know what the best part about Volusia being away, or the worst part about Volusia being away for 15 days was? I didn't get to hear this. But it's arguing between him and Slim for 15 days.
Yeah, you want to know what the difference is? A massive
Go ahead.
difference. A difference of millions.
Yes, Reznov
That's the
says. Yes, Reznov.
What does that
says
mean?
The
What
adult
does that mean?
population would do nothing but destroy this man's argument. The Chinese government is evil.
Okay, the American government is evil. What the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I think we can all agree on that.
Hold on, pump the hate brakes there, Fox and friends. Every
Yes.
government is evil.
Okay, so what are we fucking talking about again?
Well, we're willing to admit it.
Yes,
As am I.
every government has done bad things.
The American
Hey,
government
Volusia,
isn't
just
willing
answer
to
this
admit that.
question.
I'm here talking about it. Let's talk about
Just
it.
answer
Let's
this
talk about it.
question, Volusia. Just answer this one question. Is Taiwan a sovereign nation?
In my opinion, yes.
Well, you have some hope then.
But
But
Reznov.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
But
what are we talking about here, man? Like, dude. All right. All right, Slim. Cheers to you, dude. Jesus Christ. We're not. What are we?
Come on,
what are
man.
we actually?
Are you gonna?
What are we?
Quit,
What are we
are you gonna
actually
quit moving
debating
the
right now?
goalpost?
No.
I think you two geniuses just like to argue with each other. I don't think it makes a damn what it is.
Yeah.
Brett, first of all,
That's honestly what I
I'm just
think.
having fun.
You're
Fishbowl arguments here. It's going nowhere.
I'm just
You're absolutely
Fred, I'm
correct.
just having fun with him. I'm tweaking
I know.
his
Me
nose
and
he
you
gets
do
aggravated.
this too, so I get it. But
I think we're trying to tweak each other's nose so hard that we're like tweaking our own noses, dude. I think that's what we're
just
I'm
as
tweaking
long as
mine.
his
I'm
noses
having
are
a
not
great
nipple,
time.
we're good.
Me too, bro.
So when did you get back to China?
No, so I got back. Fuck, man. Like we. So right now, there's no direct flights from China to the U.S. We have to fly through Japan. So we got back like fucking 4 a.m. on like the 1st of July. Brutal jet lag, but I'm starting to get over it. I went
Yeah.
to work today for the first time since. Yeah, we're all right.
Yeah, I kind of told the story about you having a problem renting a car, but I wanted to leave
Yeah,
that.
we hear you're now in service to the Russian mob.
Yeah.
Nostrovia, давай.
Yeah, and Pete also
Oh
told
shit.
Pete also told us about your friend who came home from Thailand.
Man,
Yeah.
God damn it. I really don't want to talk about that. That's it's a depressing story.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, I already
They're
told it.
listening, so you guys be careful.
I already
No,
told.
it makes me upset. It makes me. We can talk about it, but I just don't.
Yeah, I already told the story.
I didn't hear the story.
I
Well,
don't want to. Yeah, go ahead. You can tell it.
well, essentially, his friend, he was an American as well, right?
he's British.
British. Okay, he's a British guy who was living in China. Had a Chinese wife, sort of like you do, right?
Yep.
Yep. He went on, I think it was vacation or business. Anyway, he took a trip to Thailand.
Vacation. Yep.
Vacation to Thailand, and
Right.
he flew back to China. And when he landed in China, they drug tested him. They they did a follicle hair drug test on him, and he tested positive for marijuana. I guess he smoked a joint or something in Thailand, and they deported him.
They know that it's legal in Thailand now, and so they're targeting people coming back.
And so the punishment for smoking weed in Thailand on vacation was deportation.
Yep.
They deported him.
And I gotta tell you what, man. When I was walking through New York City, because it's legal in Manhattan now, I was in New York for 8 hours. I smelled weed every 10 minutes, and I was just livid because I wanted to smoke a joint so bad. I knew that
you would probably still test positive.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Either way. So yeah, that was the story. That's a crazy story.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Like, I don't know. I don't want to get into that issue.
Yeah.
I really don't want to get into that issue, but
So let me get this straight. So he lands, gets off the plane. They're like, "Yeah, you got to pee in a cup." He was like, "Okay," and then he pees hot for Mary Jane.
no, that's not what it was. What happened was he got off the plane, and about 3 weeks later, they came to his house. And tested his hair.
3 weeks.
Yeah, because it stays in your hair for about 3 months. No, it stays in your hair indefinitely, but they only clip 3 centimeters from your scalp. It's about a 3-month test.
Wow.
So he just, he's back home. He's done forgot about this stuff.
Yep.
And they're like, "Hey,
Well, he got
trim.
narc. And he got narc.
So
That's
check
insane.
another box where America's superior.
Correct, Slim. On this front, you're right. On this front, Slim, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. On this front, yes. Yep.
Imagine in the States
Everything I say is completely factual.
if somebody came and knocked on your door and said, "Hey, you went to South America, let me cut your hair now." I'd be like, "What?"
They can do that. They can do that here. Yep.
But no,
On this front, America is better than China. Slim, you heard me say that? Yes.
Yay.
On this particular front, America is better than China. Yes.
there you go.
Yeah, America.
Out of 1,000, America's better at like 995.
No, America's better at about 250, but I'll give you this one. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, having done a little more research than Slim has, that America is probably closer to 70 to 75% better than China.
Well, it just depends on Brett.
Well, now, Brett, you have no clue how much research I've done, sir.
He doesn't know fuck all from dick. He doesn't know from his dick from a hole in the ground. But Brett, I'll talk to you because you're a rational human being, and Slim is not.
And you're an irrational. Wait a minute. I'm irrational.
No, I'm talking about Brett right now. Brett, listen. It's like this.
Oh no, sir. That's not how that's
No. Brett,
With
it's
the
like
absolute fuckery that's come out of your mouth on this show, you're gonna call me irrational? Really?
Yeah, absolutely. You're a fucking insane guy. I love you, man.
If I am irrational, you are a fucking retard.
Well, wait till you
by that standard.
What I'm saying to you, Brett, is like this. There is a continuum. All right? And on one end of the continuum is safety. And on the other end of the continuum is freedom, right? And so in China, they sacrifice a lot of freedoms to get safety. China is an extremely safe country, but they achieve that safety. Shut the fuck up. They achieve that safety by sacrificing a lot of freedom. In the United States of America, we achieve a lot of freedom by sacrificing safety, right?
Yeah. So let me help you out here.
We get up in arms over 500 police shootings. They kill more than that.
Hold on.
No, I'm not saying we should. I'm not talking about that.
So there's this guy that you may have heard of in American history. His name's Ben Franklin, right?
You say I make irrational arguments.
I'm talking to
Brett. I know the quote Brett's about to give. It's one of my favorite quotes.
You already know it.
Oh, it's one of my favorite quotes.
Hold on.
Safety.
Ben Franklin said those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety.
Yeah.
Right, but that's a horseshit quote. Right?
It's not, though.
No, it's not. Let me explain why. Nope, let me explain why. Because freedoms.
It's a horseshit quote.
Freedoms.
What a fucking idiot.
No,
freedoms are directly proportional to how much power you give a government. And I have never, ever, and no one ever has seen a government ever give power back. It has to be taken back. And so if you give up your freedoms, you don't get them back.
That's right. That's 100% right.
Right. I mean, it is in a sense, but here's the thing, man. It's like
it is in a sense.
at some on some level, there
I'm just gonna be an ass for the rest of the show now.
If you
Calm
could
down,
shut up and
Slim.
talk, that'd be awesome. So it's a continuum, right? So a pure libertarian society where everyone has the freedom to do whatever they want is obviously not our idea, right? I can shoot you because I want whatever you have, right? There has to be a rule.
That's not. No, there's no libertarians that believe that you can shoot somebody for any
That's
reason.
fucking anarchy, dumbass.
Correct. And so the full end of that continuum, of the freedom continuum, is anarchy. We all understand that we need to have things like police, right? We all understand that we need to have taxes, to pay for fire departments and roads and shit like that, right? We understand that that's necessary, right? So there's a place in the middle of this continuum where on one end is extreme freedom and on the other end is extreme safety, which we give up all our freedoms for. I don't support either one of those things.
So
I
understand where you're coming
Let me
from.
finish what I'm saying. I think that China goes too far, and I accept it because I live here, but I think that China goes too far toward the safety route. I think that America goes too far toward the freedom route. I think that the right answer is somewhere in the middle, and we can have a conversation about that. When we revert to our dogma and get angry about we're fucking bullshit, we just lose our shit, right?
Yeah.
We can have a conversation about where the right point on this is. No. I'm happy to have an adult conversation about this, but when you just get like,
you finish that statement. You finish that statement. Allow me
You're
to.
not, because every
What are you
single
saying, Brett?
point I have made, every single time we have had these conversations,
Yes.
you move the goalpost on it every single time. So
In
no,
what
you're
sense?
not at all in favor of having a rational conversation. You're
I
all
am.
about being a hypocrite in essence.
Okay,
Well, hold
so
on.
how so? How so?
So allow me to retort.
Go ahead, Brett.
So the reason that, in my opinion, that you should be not this, what you may call Wild West mentality of ultimate freedom, which is,
Yes.
there is no government at all, and you are left to the devices of, whoever's the most powerful, right? That just leads right back to an authoritarian dictator type system. But if you have a group of people amongst themselves who govern themselves, then that's fine. So this goes into what society as a whole agrees is acceptable behavior. At some point, somebody kind of has to help orchestrate the rules of the community.
Yes.
But the people of the community in the United States, for the most part, are the ones who are in charge of picking the leadership, which makes a difference on how a country is run. When it comes down to your freedoms, I am neither Republican nor Democrat. I am libertarian. I am a person who believes the government should work for the people. If we have a government that covers whatever the topic is, that they do not tell the people what they're going to do. They ask the people if they can do it.
Right.
And so
now, the problem with libertarianism is that it's not 1852 anymore, right? So
what do you mean?
The issue, right. So the issue is the twofold, right? The first issue is that it doesn't work. A modern society needs a certain set of funds to pay for things that people need. Right. So, we don't have vagabond fire departments.
No, sir.
Hold on, Slim. Let him finish.
We have volunteer fire departments.
Well,
But volunteer fire departments don't work where the fuck.
This is settled consensus, and it's not.
Just let him speak. I want to hear what he has to say.
Okay, so taxes pay for the things that we use in modern society: roads, hospitals, public schools, etc., etc.
I don't think anybody has a problem with paying taxes.
Let me interject 1 second right there.
Yes.
In the American society,
I'm going to allow this.
Most hospitals and medical are privatized. Now there's insurance.
Right,
we can have that conversation, but it's still privatized.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
Well, we can talk about that, but whether it's great or whether it's poor is beside the point of whether it's funded by the government.
Sure.
The problem, or excuse me, what you're currently saying is
the issue
at hand is that we have a government in place that doesn't function perfectly, but no government does. But the American, at least in America, you have the choice to flip the middle finger to it. You know, like, screw you guys. You guys are a bunch of assholes. Forget you. And if it were to come to bear that politicians, we'll go back just a few years ago, whenever the COVID was having mandates and this, that, or the other.
Yes.
The only reason that they couldn't institute the amount of authoritarian and Orwellian style lockdowns here was because Americans still have guns.
Right. And I think that the Orwellian style of lockdowns that they instituted in this country where I live, that I suffered through, were over the top. Right. And
well, let me add to that. And then this is so that we can.
I've got an update.
Hold on. When you have a government that has shown you that they will do that and the people can't stop them, versus a society that has shown its government, we're not going to tolerate this shit. That part right there, that conversation right there, is all I need to know about why and how American is number one, period.
Okay. Now,
the Chinese people were not able to or willing to stand up and take their fucking freedom back. And Americans, not all of us, but Americans said, fuck you, I'm not putting up with that. And they put their damn foot down and they said, you want to come get us? You can wade through lead. It's up to you. But the Chinese government did what they did to their people, and the American people would not allow it to happen. So that's where I say Americans.
A lot of the things that you've said, I agree with a lot of things that you've said. I think your conclusion is a little bit off, but it's almost on point. When you talk about number one, it's a thing that I have a bit of an issue with.
Okay, well, let me put it to you this way. What is, because we're talking about number one stuff, what is the number one thing that you want ever?
I want a lot of things, man. Life is not so black
There's
and white.
There is one thing you have to have anything behind it.
Freedom.
That's
freedom.
That's not correct. That's not
bullshit.
Correct.
Because if you don't have freedom, you don't have
freedom. As I want when I get shot in the head, or when let me ask you a question.
Wait a minute. Do you think this is the only country in the world where the majority of the population is armed? Because it's not even close.
It's not at all. That's correct, Slim. But what I'm saying is, like, so is this freedom? Let's say that so I exist. I'm crashed on a desert on a plane. I'm crashed in the desert, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then there's another guy, okay, who takes over all of the coconuts on this desert island, right? Okay. And so he says, so he wakes up an hour before I do, right, on this desert island. It's just me and him. We're the only survivors, right? Okay.
Yes.
And so he gathers all the coconuts, right? Okay. And he says, I wake up an hour after, and he's got all the coconuts in his possession. And he says, so I will give you these coconuts so long as you throw at my cock. Right? So now, do I have the freedom to say no? If I don't,
that's such a limited look at freedom. That is so
really
limited.
Is. That's such a bullshit example. You know what? I'll throw back your own example that you threw out there. Were there not roads in America in 1850? I believe there were. Were there not fire departments in America in 1850? I believe there were.
Was America the greatest country in 1850?
Hang on. We let
in 1850, America wasn't shit.
And let somebody else talk.
In 1850, America wasn't shit.
All those things existed, and they were not provided by the government.
That's right. And in 1850, America wasn't shit.
To provide those things.
Was America the greatest country in the world in 1850? It wasn't shit. America could lose a war to 10 out of 12, 20, 100 other countries in the world.
I don't know of a single country other than the United States that we have millions of people pouring into our country every year.
Amen, big dog. That's right. I mean, why? Why did they do that?
People vote with their feet. That's a lot of damn votes.
There were a lot of people pouring into America in 1850, but they weren't doing it on their own volition. So I don't really know what the fuck was great about America.
Yes, there really were.
Yeah, they were. They were.
What are you talking about? They weren't coming here of their own volition.
Yeah, they left their own countries because they had persecution in those countries, and they were looking for freedom. They were looking for they were being persecuted for their own religious beliefs. So
Really?
that's why they came to America.
The Irish weren't streaming over here in the 1850s. That's
in
not
1850. In 1850, the census was the first to collect data on the population of immigrant origins. Of the total population, 23.2 million, 2.2 million, or 9.7% had been born in other countries. So 10% of our population came from other countries in 1850.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So if you were alive in America in 1850, you'd be happy about that, right?
Hell yes, I'd be happy.
Okay, so imagine that you were, I don't know, the guy that lives down the street from you. Would you be happy about that?
Do what now? Imagine if I was the guy down the street that what?
The guy that lives down the street from you.
What about him?
And he's black.
I don't give a shit if he's black.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but in 1850 he might give a shit. I don't know. Like, what?
Okay.
Why? Not necessarily.
Hey, and you know what? I'm tired of that slavery bullshit. Because here's what our country did. Yeah, here's what our country did in
5,000 free blacks that own slaves.
Here's what our country did in 1819. They sent ships over, our Navy ships over to South Africa to stop the slave ships from coming over. They did that until 1860, until they had to bring the Navy ships back for the Civil War. So that is bullshit. Our country did not want to be founded on slavery. It happened in the South. Yes, it did. But that's a huge sore eye for us. It's a huge mistake for us. But it doesn't encompass everything that this country belongs to. That's
I
not
agree
it.
with you on that. I agree with the last statement you made, Scott. I agree with that.
Not to mention.
I agree with that. I don't think America is founded on slavery. No, I don't.
What year was slavery abolished? Was slavery abolished in China? Do you know?
It's not abolished in
we're talking about.
Yeah,
it was officially abolished in 1910, but continued until at least 1949.
Sure,
that's only like a decade and a half away from the Vietnam War.
Who's enslaved now? The Uyghurs are enslaved. They're in concentration camps in China.
No, I'm not talking about that. That's not. I'm not defending that. That's not what we're talking about.
Another check mark on America. Thank you very much.
No, it's nothing at all to do with America. That's not what we're talking about, right?
What I'm saying is that America was. Hold on, Slim.
I'm not defending China. This has nothing to do with China. Pretend I live in fucking Syria, dude. Like, move on. Moving on.
Let me ask you a question.
I didn't say anything about China.
What country? What country? There was two countries that started the banning of slavery. Do you know which ones they were?
I want to say, okay. So it should be France, right?
France, and what was the other one?
Netherlands?
Britain.
Yep. Is it Britain? Okay.
It was Britain.
Yep.
And then after that, it was the United States. These countries led the charge against slavery.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm talking about when it comes to freedom. These are countries that self-govern themselves, that looked at what was going on, and they said, this is fucked up. We don't want to do this anymore. This is wrong. We need to make changes, and then made the changes. Meanwhile, countries like China.
That is your characterization of the United States. I don't know what to say to you.
What do you mean?
And it's also
your characterization of the United States. Brett, repeat what you just said.
What do you? I think that the United States is one of the best countries in the world because they helped lead the charge against ending slavery.
That is that is one of the weirdest things I've ever heard anyone say.
Why?
Dude,
hold on. Stop.
It's true, for God's sakes.
Why is that?
Is it weird?
Do you think that all Americans were Confederate flag wavers?
No, I don't think that. But I don't think that people where we come from were not. The slaves in America were not set free on the volition and the just the moral, the moral righteousness of the Southerners. Like that. What really? What are we talking?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, really. We're all over the road here now, Felicia.
It's not Southerners.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there were slaves in the North too. There were slaves everywhere.
Did you come on here?
It was primarily because of farming in the South that slaves were needed, but slavery was everywhere.
You're gonna tell me the state? You're gonna do the states' rights thing? Is that what we're gonna do?
What are you talking about? I'm trying to get
Nobody
releases.
said anything about states' rights, but
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Here's the overall point. He's trying to repeat that 1619 bullshit.
No,
like
I didn't say anything
America.
about that.
Hang on, let somebody else talk because you've blathered enough.
Well, you're telling me what I
He's trying
said.
to
I
go
didn't say
on
that.
This 1619 bullshit.
I didn't say that.
America
No.
is solely
Don't put words on it. I didn't say
responsible
that.
for fucking slavery in the world.
I didn't say
as
that.
if it hasn't existed in every civilization that has
Nothing
ever
to do with
graced
what we're
this
talking
planet.
about.
It still exists all over the planet.
Slavery is still alive
I
and
didn't
well.
say anything about that, and that's not what I'm talking about.
And who were the first slaves?
That's not the fucking point. That's not what.
Well, it is a point because slavery's been around for a long fucking time.
Well, yeah,
it
no
hasn't been
shit.
just African Americans.
Yeah, no, I understand.
The first slaves, unless I'm mistaken, was actually Middle Eastern, wasn't it?
It was the Jews.
That's not what we're talking about. We're not.
It was the Jews.
People have been fucking with him for 5,000 years.
I will say this: Jew is a fun word to say. Even if it's slightly weird, sometimes it's a fun word to say. But that's not what we're talking about.
Next time, before you come on here trying to claim that somebody can't have an adult conversation, why don't you try checking your own arguments?
Dude, you have
You just
no
made
idea
yourself
what the
look
fuck
like an
you're talking.
absolute imbecile.
Whew. Okay.
So anyway, to get back
Slim,
to
is
what I
that,
was
is,
saying,
Slim, is
happy to
that
have
sign
this
purple
discussion
now,
with
or is
Brett.
it? I'm sure it's not red anymore. It's purple, right?
Slim has made 0 points in the history of his life, so I'm not sure what the fuck he's talking about.
Okay.
But
Well,
like,
let me-
Brett,
A lot of what Brett has said, I have said.
hold on, Slim. Let me
I don't think you have.
let me finish this.
I'm
Let me
interested in
finish
listening
this
to what Brett has to
conversation.
say.
Let me finish this conversation with
Good.
just because America has done bad things, and by the way, every country in the world pretty much has.
Agree.
And also, by the way, the United States didn't even have the majority of slaves that came out of Africa. Also, by the way, there was only one country of, we'll say, non-melanated people that went into Africa to get slaves, and I believe it was the Portuguese.
You are
The
correct,
rest
sir.
the rest were on the coast in cages waiting for us that had already been captured by other African slaves. Those are all facts.
You are correct,
Nothing
sir.
to do with it. That's
Now-
not the point. But I
No,
agree
hold on.
with you.
Let
I
me
agree with
finish.
the
Let me
first thing you
finish.
said. I agree with the
finish.
You
first
know what I
thing you
mean
said.
by moving the goalpost?
What
I
I'm
agree with the first
saying
thing you
is
said.
that if the United States recognized as a whole and then fought for freedom for everybody, think about that. The United States fought for freedom for its own slaves against itself.
Yep.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, dude. What more do you need?
But not in the state that you're repping.
What do you mean?
So?
Okay.
What,
Are you
just
saying-
because
are
he
you
lives
saying
in
to say
Georgia? What the hell does that have anything to do with where either our locations are at this given time?
Hilarious. So you're saying that people in Georgia fought for the freedom of slaves. Are you trying to say that?
No, he's
There
saying
were
the country
people.
as a
There
whole
were
did.
people that left the state of Georgia to join the Union Army.
Yeah, there were people in Georgia who had syphilis in their eyeballs too. Yeah, but there was like three.
I mean, what's that got? We're not talking about. We're not talking about that. What we're talking about is the country as a whole.
Hold on now, Volusia, you're from the South.
I am, and
Yeah.
I will speak
So-
against it. Yes.
Okay, well, to the exact point Brett just made, my great grandmother's sister was head of the genealogy department at University of Wyoming. I know
the
for a
phrenology
fact
department,
I
yeah.
have family members that fought on both sides of that war.
Great.
As a matter of fact,
Cool.
a set of brothers fought on opposing sides of that war.
Has nothing
So
to do
just
with what I'm
because you're
talking about.
from Tennessee does not mean that you didn't fight against it.
Great. That's awesome. That's great. But that's not what the point of the Civil War was, is it?
Let me ask you a question then. Let me be fair. Since we're talking about that, and I'm not defending Georgia, I'm putting facts out. How many soldiers do you think Georgia provided for the Civil War? Just throw it out there.
On the Confederate side?
Yeah, on the Confederate side, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm just gonna let you answer that.
5,000.
Yeah, cool, good.
My God, what a dramatic impact that made.
Okay.
If Georgia was so all-fired, hold on. If Georgia was so all-fired and hell-bent about fighting in the Revolutionary War, in the Civil War.
Yes.
Why was it only 5,000 men?
I don't know. What do you think they were fighting for?
I think that a lot of people were fighting because of what they were being told and propagandized. Because keep in mind, only 1%, less than 1% actually, of people owned slaves. So you can't make me believe that the entirety of Georgia, who only sent 5,000 people total, was all about fighting for 1% of its population. That doesn't make sense. What they were against, and what a lot of them were against, was they were going to lose their livelihoods.
Yes. Yes, they were going to lose their farm.
And they were going to lose their livelihoods.
They were going to lose their home. That's exactly right.
You may not know this, and I'm going to help you guys out a little bit.
I'm going to ask you a question.
You may not know this about me, but I have sat down and done my own genealogy. I have sat down and went through all of the records. And let me finish. I've sat down and went through my family lineage and history, and I can trace mine all the way back to the 1500s in England. One of the gentlemen in my history of genealogy is a man by the name of James Russell Lowell.
Sounds very.
He was an American poet. He went to Harvard Law School.
Cool.
He wrote satire, and you ready for this? He was an ambassador to the Kingdom of Spain for 20 years, and he was a slave abolitionist.
Great. That has nothing to. That's one guy. It doesn't have anything to do with what Georgia was talking about. But that's
what I'm saying is that.
Okay. Well, Volusia, since you want to keep going back to this same statement over and over, what about the roughly 4,000 black slave owners in Louisiana that fought in the Civil War for the Confederacy to preserve it?
Yeah, money fights for money, dude. But are you serious? 4,000 black slave owners represent the entire South. How many black slaves are in the South? No,
wait a minute.
How many black slaves are in the South?
To absolutely castrate everybody else as absolutely terrible people.
I'll roll.
But I turn around and throw your same logic back at you.
What I'm saying is that we can talk about we can get into the intricacies of the Civil War, and that's fine. We can do all that fun stuff. But at the end of the day, here's what matters. That
4,000 black slave owners. Yes, they were fighting. So that means that all the blacks want to. What the fuck?
No, I'm just pointing out your own hypocrisy. That's all.
Hold on.
What you're saying
and you're not even smart enough to see it.
Hold on.
No, what you're saying.
So who's really the fucking retard here?
No, you guys are losing. It's like he said, you're losing the plot here.
It was the Jews.
It was the Jews.
The Jews face. I'm sorry. I'm not going to disrespect Brett because I think Brett's making a good point. Good.
In my opinion, as an objective observer of two societies, I see a society in China that to this day has concentration camps. And I see America, which does not have concentration camps, and fought against itself to free slaves. If I don't know a damn thing else about those two countries, that's all I need to know. Slavery is a horrible,
that's obviously
terrible thing.
Ridiculous, overly.
I don't think so.
And look, you know what? There's a lot of slavery right now that's going on with these cartels that are bringing children in the border, and they own these children. They wear little damn wristbands to show how much they owe the cartel. They said there's 70 to 8,000 kids that are lost out there that are enslaved by cartels. And if we don't do something about our border pretty damn soon, it's going to get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, America is such a terrible place that everyone's trying to come here.
There are slaves in Jordan. There are slaves in Egypt. There are slaves in Libya. Like, you can talk about it's a border problem. It's not a U.S. border problem.
It's a huge problem. It is a border problem. You can't say it's not. When you got the cartel literally bringing over and everything else across our borders.
Okay. What? How can we kneecap the cartel? Let me ask you a question.
Bring in the damn military and kneecap their ass. That's what we do.
We decriminalize drugs.
Well, but you decriminalize drugs. That's a long way down the road. Okay, to me personally.
Why?
Some drugs you cannot.
You can't decriminalize. I don't see this country decriminalizing all drugs.
You I can tell you why from firsthand point. I can tell you why from firsthand point of view why you can't decriminalize some drugs.
Okay, go ahead. Shoot.
Have you ever seen how long it takes somebody to get hooked on meth and to turn into an absolute animal?
Well, they've already pretty much done it in California, and that's why there's so many cities in California that are complete shitholes.
So the answer is
that's why there's so many homeless in California. You're right, dude.
and not a criminal issue. It's a medical issue, not a criminal issue.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Cry me a fucking river.
Well, tell that.
I know. Slim wants to get everybody the chair.
But
Slim wants
let
to
me
get
ask you a
everyone
question.
the chair that doesn't. Yeah, I get
Hey,
it.
hold on, Volusia. They've already done it.
You can throw out your little fucking snarky comments all you want. You have not
Well, that's what you
rebutted
want.
a single fucking fact that I've given you. All you've done is deflect and divert.
Look it
That's
up.
it.
What do they
So
do in
next
Portugal?
time you
What
try
do they do in
and
the Czech
say
Republic?
somebody's
What do
trying
they
to
do in
have
Norway?
a real adult conversation, check
You're
yourself,
full of
bruh.
shit.
You sound
What
like a fucking imbecile.
All you do, Slim, all you do,
Hey,
Slim,
hey,
is say
hey,
America number one,
de-escalate.
America number one, and everything in America
De-escalate.
you defend to the hilt. But when it's fucked up and wrong, you don't
Okay.
give a fuck. You don't
I'm
give a
not
fuck.
de-escalating
You
shit.
never
Y'all have to because you're
I'm
talking
being
past one
an ass for the
another.
rest
You've
of the
never
day.
left your
This
fucking
is
village. You
all
have no
intentional.
idea what's happening in the world.
He
here
can't
at
even
all,
see his
at
own
all.
fucking hypocrisy.
Hey, look,
It's
It's, it's-
and nobody else knows shit.
Hello.
it's Little Dog Brett.
Hello.
Look at him.
This my little guy right here.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's right. That's bring a kid in here and de-escalate.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to do, man.
Ours is Jasper,
Yes,
Georgia.
I'm clearly on a 5-on-1 here. I'm not gonna say 5 morons because I think most of you are smart, but
I'm not even arguing with you. I'm just.
No, I'm not really arguing that much either. I'm listening more than
it's
you know.
really easy. So when you come from a point of view where you've never seen anything outside of your own rectal walls.
Yes, nobody's seen anything but you fucking idiot.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about you haven't.
Seen any
I'm
fucking
not saying Brett has some good points. I disagree with them. We can talk about it, but you're just fucking.
Yeah, you're right.
Shit. Like,
You're just jumping here. My butt. Go get some.
no, that's great.
refreshments,
No,
kid.
great. That's great. Me. That's great.
It was
That's
the
the best
Hebrews.
news you've had all.
Brett, what? I'm sure your son's name is. He's a handsome kid.
Colton.
Yeah, he can actually talk pretty good for himself.
What's his name again?
I'm sure he can. He can talk better than Slim can. I mean, he can do better than for sure.
But
How you
yet,
doing, buddy?
you can't outmatch
What are you
them.
doing,
So what's the
football
problem?
man?
Sounds like you need to go back to Clemson and get a refund for that fucking degree that
I'm
doesn't do
sorry.
any
That's
good.
fine. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna swear. I know Americans don't like swearing. I'm not gonna swear.
Awesome.
Slim.
Hey, let me ask Little Dog Brett a question. Little Dog Brett,
Brett Jr.
what's Georgia's record going to be this year in football?
I don't know.
Oh,
Really?
well,
You don't know.
15, you know.
15-0.
Oh, Lord.
So,
There you go. Yeah, that's definitely Brett's son.
Right over there corrupting the youth
Did
of
someone
America.
leave this ditto?
Huh?
Pete,
Somebody
here's the
in the
problem.
studio.
Here's the problem is I have no argument against that.
Yeah.
Somebody left the
Well,
studio.
you have no argument against anything, Felicia.
Well, no, I mean it's easy to argue. You just don't listen. You like to go like that's a fucking
Well, that's
argument.
all
You're an
you've
idiot.
done all
What
day.
I'm saying is,
Hey, you two,
I've heard
when's
of
the
it.
wedding?
I think your conversation ought to end on some happy note. If we can.
How do we miss the opportunity? Volusia flew over to the States. He got married in New Hampshire on American soil. How did he not get Slim to be his best man? How?
Right?
Slim, dude.
He should have. You know what would have been better is if he would have let Slim conduct the bachelorette or the bachelor party.
That would have been fucking awesome. And Slim, when I'm in the States next,
You know what I think is
Memphis,
awesome.
right?
I think it's awesome that we can all get in here and we can yammer back and forth and still be friends.
But at the end of it, fuck it. Slim, look.
It was the Israelites.
It took me a minute. You caught me off guard with that one.
All right. So listen, so I don't know when I'm gonna be back in the States next. I think I might come back to the Notre Dame game. It doesn't matter. If I'm in Tennessee, we're having a beer. You can baptize me in the fucking sleeper of your truck. I don't care, dude.
Hey, I will pay for tickets for you and Slim to go to a Miami Hurricanes game when they have their own stadium.
How about this? How about me and Slim take Volusia out to shoot some guns? That would be fun.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I'll tell you, hell yeah, let's go.
Actually, me and Belushi were talking about that earlier in the comments section.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah. I'll do it. Let's go. It'll be fun. That'd be actually fun as fuck.
What kind of gun would you like to shoot, Volusia?
I don't know. I will take Slim's lead on that. That's his realm.
Let's get him an AR-15.
Yeah. It's got to be an AR-15.
I'll give him something he's more used to. I've got a Russian-made AK.
Oh my God. Slim,
What?
you're a bad
At least
man.
the off.
I don't like Russia. What are we talking about?
Well, we figured you like them since they're communist too.
Yeah, they're your communist.
I knew that was coming.
Communist. Russia's not communist.
Get him a James Bond gun. Get him the Walter PPK, you know?
There you go.
That's a good firearm.
Yeah.
That's a great firearm, actually.
Rarely jammed.
Pete, don't you? Isn't that the gun that you have?
Who, me?
No, Pete. Yeah, you, Pete.
Yes.
I have basically, it's like a Walther PPK clone. It's a Bursa.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks exactly the same.
It looked just like a Walter PPK.
Yeah.
So.
My wife carries a Walter PPQ.
Oh.
PPQ. Huh?
What is that?
It's their more modern version.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a joke there. I thought it was.
I was gonna let that go.
It's basically Walter's clone of a Glock, but
smaller.
The way Walter makes them, they're very good for women's hands.
Yeah.
What about you, Slim? What do you carry?
Yeah.
Me?
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care. Actually, Mrs. Pete carries the Bursa.
So nice right now, dude.
Carries something different.
Good. That's cool.
I think between me and Pete, me and Slim, we probably have a modest arsenal.
Yeah.
I've got
nowhere near the most armed man in America, but everybody's got to have goals.
I wanted to give an update about my neighbor, if you don't mind. We apologized.
Oh, yeah.
He apologized to me. He came over to me yesterday and apologized. And he told me that he's had some anxiety attacks. I've not been the only person he attacked. And that he just feels awful and sorry. And I told him I felt the same, because I did feel the same after I told him F you several times. But we're all made up now. We're good.
Well, that's good. I mean, listen, of course.
This is society we want people open carrying it.
Of course he was agitated. He had bugs in his ass.
That's right, Pete.
Although, Scott,
I'd be agitated too.
Scott, that you live in Goose Creek, and I was in Goose Creek recently.
You were in Goose Creek? Okay.
Yeah.
I have not been to Goose Creek in quite some time. I live in the same town as Pete does in Somerville, but we're on kind of opposite
I was on the
sides.
Somerville Goose Creek border.
He was like a mile from Somerville.
You go to Hell's Angels Bar and Grill.
Yes.
Yeah, the Hell's Angels Bar and Grill. I frequent that a good bit, Vic. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I almost took Volusia there.
Crystal Sugar Lips is giving psychic readings tonight.
Ooh.
Oh, you know what's really popping this today is Stumpy's firework stand.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stumpy's good. They can't keep them in there. The only guy that's left is sparklers.
I've heard it's hard for that guy to get his hands on a good deal.
Oh my goodness! All right, everyone have a grateful.
Yeah.
Well, it's about that time. I got to go ahead and get off here. So I really appreciate you guys being on. Wait, that's Pete's line. Sorry.
Yeah. It is 1 o'clock.
Later, guys.
All right. See you later, Brett.
Thanks for the banter. It was fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers, Brett. Appreciate it, bro.
All right, Scott.
Yeah, man.
Have a good
man. Hey, listen. I don't know if you got anything planned for Friday, but if you got time for a libation, maybe let's do that.
Yeah. I'll get in touch with you. Let me check with the boss. See if I.
Okay.
Yeah, she makes the plans. I just follow them. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, yeah. I hear you, man. I'll do the same.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Scott, hey, Scott. So I know that I was within miles of you and I missed you, but next time I'll see you. Yeah.
Okay, man. I'd love to meet you. Absolutely.
Likewise, take care, bro.
Yeah. Let me know. Y'all have a great 4th. Okay.
All right. See you later, Scott.
You too, man. Cheers.
Wow. I got to say, I'm exhausted after this show.
Me too.
All I
man.
did was listen.
Either I didn't have enough drinks, or maybe I had too many. One or the other.
Come on now. I could sit here and annoy Volusia for another 6 hours.
I know.
Yeah, we can do it. Slim, listen, we can do this all the time. This is why I'm so excited to meet you, man. Because once we see each other in person, it's limitless, dude. It's limitless.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if your opinion changes, knowing that I have a firearm on me when we meet.
No.
I trust that you won't shoot me over our difference of opinions. I trust that.
That was a joke, sir.
I got you. And I know what? I'll give you a big, uncomfortable hug.
There you go.
It will be very uncomfortable.
Very, very. I won't grab your balls. I won't make it gay, but I will make sure I
don't check my oil either.
All right, guys, I do have to go. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm also glad to see that you're back in your at home in China safely.
I appreciate that, Pete. And it was, again, one more time, it was a wonderful experience to meet you. It was cool hanging out, man. And,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we had a great time. We had a good conversation.
Let the people know we did not drink Bud Light. We drank tequila.
Yeah, right? Like real men do.
Like real men do.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. Tequila.
That's right.
We just got to keep an eye on him for 3 weeks, make sure he doesn't get picked up.
Well, hopefully there will be a midday show on Wednesday. Hopefully he can call back in. We'll see.
All right.
All right.
Cheers, lads. Vic,
right,
Pete, and Mr. Slim Shady. See you guys.
All right, gentlemen. All of you. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Vic. Well, that was something. That was something. I don't know what else to say. Tonight, 10 p.m., the Lunch Money Show with me and your boy Uncle Lou on Uncle Lou's main channel. And then, of course, tomorrow is the 4th of July, so no ACC show with Sea-Dog. And I'll be back, I guess, Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time for another rendition and edition of the Midday Show. I'm hoping to have this room here finished. My goal was to get it done this week. It might bleed it over into next week. I don't know. It depends on what else is going on. But I'll be working on it. And I'm excited for you guys to see the transition for the studio here. All right, everybody. Everyone have a great Monday, rest of your Monday. And also, please have a great and safe, the most important thing, safe 4th of July. No drinking and driving. If you shoot off fireworks, don't turn yourself into the three-fingered man. Jason Pierre-Paul, be safe with those two. Of course, I don't need to tell you to be safe. You're all adults here, most of you anyway. All right, everybody. I'll see you very soon. Happy 4th.